Water utility workers have always had an awareness of confined space safety practices at water treatment facilities and in the field. But OSHA provided a little more focus and direction with the 2015 update 29 CFR Part 1926 for employees entering these potentially dangerous areas. Much of the update is aimed at the construction industry, but the standard continues to guide water utility workers as well. The OSHA Confined Space Update in 2015 added crawl spaces and attics to the list of permit-required areas. A confined space is an area that is large enough and configured so that an employee can enter it, has limited or restricted means for entry and exit, and is not designed for continuous employee occupancy. Confined spaces are further defined as an area that is hazardous due to lack of oxygen, air that is flammable or toxic, or there might be a danger from machinery, electrocution, engulfment, entrapment, or heat stress. If one or more of these hazards exist, it should be identified as a permit-required confined space. All water utility employees must be made aware of this danger by the posting of a sign that reads, "Danger, permit-required confined space, do not enter," or using an equally effective means. The new Confined Spaces standard continues to require that all workers know about the existence, location, and dangers posed by each permit-required confined space, and they know not to enter one of these spaces without authorization. Let's take a look at confined space safety and how it impacts water utility workers. A confined space entry permit is a form designed to help an individual or employee work safely by establishing procedures that must be followed. If the space in question is determined to be a permit-required confined space, an entry supervisor must be designated. The entry supervisor must be a qualified person knowledgeable in the work to be completed and in confined space entry procedures. This person is responsible for creating the permit and then making sure all the required tests and procedures have been met. Only then can water utility employees that have been trained enter a confined space. The permit information must be made available to employees. Some examples of confined spaces found at water plants where permits may be necessary are storage tanks, meter pits, manholes, pipelines, tunnels, sewers, casings, vaults, and the recently added crawl spaces and attics. It's necessary to enter these spaces occasionally to conduct inspections, repairs, maintenance, cleaning, and painting, but it's important to take the time to carefully assess the safety of the confined space by first evaluating a number of conditions.